All right, you wonderful souls. It is time to dive into the Song of the Week 38. Is it Song of the Week 38? Oh, I should probably check that before I start. It is the 38th. Okay, lovely. No need to restart. We'll keep going. And that is A.A. Williams, an incredible performer from London, England. No relation, to be clear. And before we do anything else, it's important that we run the really high-end intro. Made live on the air 18 months ago. Oh, wait, that's Send Help. That's Send Help, a local band with Autopilot, because I was listening to that. This is the intro. It's a great, after a week away on holiday, it's a very slick and professional start to this Song of the Week deep dive rundown.
Oh, bro, it's just like...
Song of the Week. Wonderful. First things first, computer kept shutting down randomly since we got back yesterday, and I was worried, oh, did I download something? Is there some malware? What's going on? My mum got hacked on Facebook the other day. I think accidentally clicked a video, and then that whole, oh, I think you're in a video shit that's still going around. I thought, there's no way that anyone could get access to this. Turns out I hadn't cleaned the fans in my computer for, I don't know, 20 months. So if you're watching on a PC, when was the last time that you checked the fans and the filters and the dust inside? All right. So let's dive into A.A. Williams. First, we'll do as we always do. Get this zoomed into 200% so that you can see it. Wow, it's so big for me. It's like, G-O-O-G. All right, we'll go to whatwasthatradio.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 200%. We'll go. It's always on the homepage, right? No audio for this. It's just a preview. Discover Song of the Week. A.A. Williams, Evaporate. Traditionally, your second album is The Worry, where there's the weight of expectation, but I must create music I like myself. And I've had more time on this record. I felt more confidence and conviction. As The Moon Rests is both heavier and softer. There's more texture and weight. And a string ensemble. It's Forever Blue times 10. In fact, the first thing we'll do is on the Spotify. The bio here reads, it's very tiny for you. Can I zoom in this? God, that's huge. That's as big as it'll go. It reads, making a stage debut in April 2019 and selling out a first headline show at London's prestigious South Bank Centre less than a year later, A.A. Williams hit the ground running. Similarly, the acclaim for her performances on her music has been unanimous from the start. After one self-titled EP and a collaboration with Japanese post-rockers Mono, the London-based singer-songwriter signed to Bella Union and released her stunning debut album Forever Blue in July 2020. I'm going to bring this all the way back for the sake of my sanity as we step away from the Spotify. And back to the website. All right, let's jump into this Song of the Week portal. God, it's so big, but at least you can see it. Whew, don't forget to follow. You can follow the Spotify playlist if you want to. 16 people do so far. Shout out to you. And it's sort of a discover where do you want to go for people that might fall in. We're going to go. Is that really 30 people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 12, 18. Yeah, it is. We'll go into A.A. And I wrote A.A. Williams creates deeply atmospheric music that encompasses a variety of her favorite genres from post-rock to classical with a heavy sprinkling of metal, and I cannot get enough of it. From what I can gather on the internet machine, A.A. first took up music at 6 years old after being told she was too tall for ballet class. She began studying piano, and since the same teacher also gave lessons in cello, she learned to play that as well. While she grew up immersed in classical music and listened to mainstream pop for fun, in her mid-teens, she picked up a CD by Deftones, one of my favorite bands ever. This is, where's the camera here? Diamond Eyes Owl. Where's the Skull? And the White Pony. It's one of my favorite bands of all flipping time. Chino's Deftones. And in 2014, she supposedly found an electric guitar on the street with a note that read, "Please take me. I need work. Help me." With the help of a friend, she got that guitar in working order, taught herself to play, then started writing songs that were dark and reflected her belief that heavy doesn't necessarily mean loud. Again, let's go back to what I first said. Deeply atmospheric music. My gosh, I adore it. I also said, please consider diving into Songs from Isolation, where she reimagined songs by Radiohead, Deftones, Nine Inch Nails, The Cure, Pixies, and more. It is a really, really special session that we'll get to. But let's start by going to her collaborations. Dibba-dibba-doo. A.A. Williams, Mono, Exit in Darkness. Let's start with this.
How long have I been underneath the weight of all I'm carrying for all my life? I've been the one who abandoned every.
The control of her voice is incredible. Many people, you'll get 1, 2, 3 beats away from that initial presentation of the note, and it will start to waver. It might be flirting with going sharp or going minor. Sharp or flat, I don't know why I said minor. But even when she starts to put that wonderful, just listen to how she holds the sustain, how she holds sustain, and then at the end of it starts to give that light tremolo, if I'm using the right word here. Not a singing coach, just a musicologist and lover of music. Never in those waves does she drop into anything flat or sharp. It is consistent. It is stunning. It is so rich and textured. And it caught me straight away when I fell into this a few years back. I love that you could hear the chair creak.
But I need you to know you make me whole, and I can't let you be alone.
And I adore the fact that there are so many ways we can explore music and even instruments. And just because there's the way that the mainstream or just the overall teachings compel people to play in such a style and to perform in such a way, the drumstick on the strings there to get that kind of sustain, that eerie, again, atmospheric, right? How they layer A.A. Williams and Mono, these textures, this palette of instruments, so particularly, and listen very carefully as well to how warm, like the cello that's coming on the right-hand side here, if you've got headphones on, the stereo field rather, is extremely full, but also simply so. And as they bring in the rest of the band here, everything's got its right place, and it can become very overbearing very quickly. Does not. The tones are balanced exquisitely. because there's so much low end in this. The cello, the bass, her voice, the drums. There's so much low end, and it's not cloudy. It's not like you're trying to search through a cupboard to look for your favorite shirt and you didn't realize you've got 1,000 shirts you don't want to fucking wear anymore. Everything is just so particularly put. It's like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for me, listening to A.A. Williams. When you're a youngster, and I remember when I was watching it as a kid and having read it and then watching the movie. And it's that moment of going into the cupboard and being like, how is this vast world out here? And how is it so balanced? How is it so refined? Again, thinking back to that metal, that first falling in love with Deftones. And AA believing that loud doesn't mean. It's the energy of which that you can produce this space to dive into. Exit in Darkness, this song is called, right? I can picture when I listen to this with my eyes shut, that wardrobe door, and you're just walking slowly to it. And I don't feel scared. I feel compelled to go to it. I'm so intrigued to see what lies inside, behind, beyond. And that is what AA does so well with her soundscaping, with her storytelling. We're going to watch this full performance, and then we'll click through some other examples and live sessions that I think you absolutely need to know about. Then we'll get to Evaporate, the Song of the Week choice this week. And they add to that with the production of this video, and see how it's brightened up here. They've layered on at least probably 6 to 10 different shots here, and they've brightened it up a bit. And again, to me, it's like you're walking down that corridor you see at the end, and it's just calling you. You see that flipping cupboard door, that door, whatever it might be, heaven's gates. And you're intrigued. And in so many situations, you'll hear cymbals just overbearingly, just crushing the soul of a song. Like, oh, I need, if the drummer's doing, and as a drummer, to be clear, and it just cuts through. It's like someone grabs a bunch of daggers and just throws it into a mix. And this is accentuating it. It's giving it that middle foundation, that second layer, that second step of grip for everything else to just connect to and then just uplift. It's an incredible song. It's expertly produced. It's just so fucking good. You can see in the reflection of all the band members in the room that they're so at ease and comfortable in being themselves that you can, particularly if we go back 10 seconds here, look at here, and here. Look at the contemplation, the reflection. I mean, he's on his phone, so he's kind of shitting on my point a little bit here, but warmth, thinking, next steps. I love it. I just love it so much. Really, really, really special. So let's dive into a bit of the Arco EP. Control is probably, well, yeah, Belong. Let's go Belong. On the first EP in 2021. Skip it a bit.
Never lost to letting go, and I wish I could tell you so much. I wish I was never here.
It's just incredible. And then we'll jump to the first record, Forever Blue. Oh my gosh, this EP came out in 2021. Forever Blue was 2020. And I thought that was the hamster for a second. What is that? Is it a different case for the Fitbit? Yeah. Oh, nice. Jodie and Harley just got like a little hamster harness to take Chunky out on adventures because Chunky deserves the right to see the world, to be honest with you. But then I thought that was Chunky then. Let's dive into Melt.
Let go of these promises. They hurt and never ease. No, all of the lies you told. I won't melt, I'm not afraid. These choices will come back again. I'll go into the night again. 'Cause I belong on my own, and I belong with nothing at all.
Again, that control. Those bends down. I'm a sucker for those when they bend down a step. I love the melty melt video. Everything's melting. We'll skip in a bit. Oh no, it's important that you hear where this builds. Here. Skip too far.
To you. You just couldn't let me be. So precious, I know you are. In the end, you'll turn out fine. No, somehow I'll weigh down.
I feel bad. I mean, this. I always feel bad because it's just a sign of respect for me for the music that I'm talking about. But I get so lost in AA's music that I feel terrible in pausing it to discuss anything, especially to pause to say how brilliant it is when right. But this is just exceptional, and we take it all the way back to that quote here, which is, oh my God, this is so big. It's perfect for you, but it's a real shock to come back to this. Reflected a belief that heavy doesn't necessarily mean loud, right? But this is what's so fascinating about how we discuss and share music with each other. If you were to say to me, oh, check out this A.A. Williams, before I'd heard anything, massively inspired by Deftones, plays cello and classical piano, I'd be like, oh, okay, sweet. I would not have expected this. But if you'd said, heavy doesn't necessarily mean loud, atmospheric, It's just stunning. I think to finish my point now, that's why a lot of the time I've been trying in the last few years since I left commercial radio to not throw those blanket statements across, well, anything, just in terms of life. I think it's quite dangerous to do that, to just take a cluster of people and throw a blanket over there. You're all like that. That's just bullshit. We're all very unique and particular human specimen. But that's something that always bugged me was, reminds me of, and you'll like them because they're like this. And you see it in bands' bios and stuff like that. And I get it. It can pull in. Not everyone is deep diving into music and is so almost, I was going to say anal, but very particular about how artists are described and supported. I know that's my unique thing, and very particular about that. Many of you watching this right now, we share similarities in how we process and go about music because you're here supporting me in what was at radio. But it worries me sometimes how it can misshape, supply a misstep for bands. Which direction are they trying to walk in? Well, why do they need to allude to all this shit that doesn't matter to them? Right? Simple. And that's why I like bands that don't have a bio necessarily, or don't say inspired by necessarily. You can be inspired by, I'm inspired by loads of people. I'm inspired by John Peels and Howard Sterns and Chris Evans and a variety of interesting characters and cats. Joe Wiley, Zoe Ball, God, radio is everything to me, has been since I was a little kid. But there's still the unique style that goes into the way I go about it. Yes, as a comedian, when I did stand-up, Lee Evans, Brian Regan, yeah, massive inspirations to how I went about my style, physical comedy, intensive comedy, but also simplistic, observational comedy that those two do so well, so effortlessly. So I'm not saying that you can't be inspired, you can't discuss it. I'm saying I worry when bands are presented in a way that makes you think, I might like it then. I don't know, it's difficult. It's a fine line to walk, isn't it? But we'll walk it in our own way.
I'm not made for this anyway.
I've got to go to work in half an hour. Better go. Let's skip it another couple minutes. Who shot this video? I love it. It doesn't say. The top comment here says, this album came out of nowhere recently for me and became my AOTY for 2020. AOTY, what does that even mean? Lol. What does that mean? Same story here. AOTY. Acronym Album of the Year. Oh, fuck. Oh. Dad always said if I had a brain I'd be dangerous. Ay. Other comments. My mind is blown right now. It deserves to be 10 times the views it's got. It's a masterpiece. What's it at? 72,000. It's bonkers. This is what's so amazing about our planet, though. There's billions of us and there's so many talents. We just got to try and find them, right? Some people are obsessed with trying to find the Pokemon in the flipping middle of the street. I'm trying to find the Pokemon that aren't Pokemon. They're real people and they make me move to the beat. That's a cheesy one. All right, let's keep moving. Another great song that I adore from the Forever Blue 2020 record is Love and Pain. So let's do a bit of that. Oh, there's not a video for it. Which ones were there videos for? Control. That's on the EP though. Cold. That's a new one. That's upcoming second record. Well, I want you to hear this. I'd like you to hear this. Love and Pain.
Something that myself I made. My
skip it in halfway for you. Just so we're clear, Forever Blue does tend to have a recurring theme of growth. Everything builds into this colossal, hearty atmosphere that just... This might sound cheesy. Maybe they thought about this, but with all the melty videos, like in the melt video rather, when there's the ice melting and all sorts, I could see... I mean, I'd just watch paint dry listening to A.A. Williams, but I could see like flowers opening in super slow-mo, right? For those of you that like your mushrooms, put the camera in the flipping forest and see the mushroom appear and grow out and those big funky weird ones. I'm not a mushroom expert, to be clear. The ones I had in Amsterdam didn't really do anything 15 years ago and haven't bothered since. Anyway, it's probably... Found they made me really giddy and chatty. I did see Flipper the Dolphin when I went to the bathroom, opened the toilet, the toilet bowl, the toilet lid became Flipper. Did anyone ever watch that movie? Now let's dive into some of these isolation sessions. These are linked, songs from Isolation, on the old website, which I have to be honest, I need to...
Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am home again.
This is the Cure cover of Love Song. I thought I linked the video on the website. God, Google is big. A.A. Williams... Isolation. My God, I made that so big. Yeah, I'd like to see the visual. But I'm going to jump to... Well, hang on a second. I'm going to do 9 Inch Nails, Deftones. I suppose we were just listening to a bit of the Cure Love Song, but there's also some Pixies and Smashing Pumpkins and all sorts. It's an incredible session.
Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am home again. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am whole again.
Fruit flies. Don't ruin this. Pesky buggers.
Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am young again. Whenever I'm...
All right.
You make me feel like I...
This flipping fruit fly. Coming after the remnants of my smoothie. Every day is exactly the same 9 Inch Nails cover.
Remember how this got started, but I can tell you exactly how it will end. Every day is exactly the same. Every day is exactly the same. There is no love and there is no pain. Every day is exactly the same. Writing on a little piece of paper.
Those layers Those vocal layers are stunning.
I'm hoping someday.
In case my mum watches this, it's a little loop pedal. So she's layering up. Well, I don't mean to single out in case my dad is watching this. In case anyone that doesn't understand what a looper is, just layering up. I feel bad for singling them out now.
Well, I'll hide it behind something they won't look behind.
So good. And a little bit of the Deftones. Be Quiet and Drive. Then we'll get to the song of the week choice, and I've got to go to work, stack some produce. I was having a chat with this about a guitar player I met. Someone came up to me in the store. We were talking about guitars. I terribly forget, in case you're watching this, and how they were hesitant to tell me that they got a Squire. And I was like, well, I'm not a guitar player, but how do I sum this story up real quick? There are 4 or 5 people that I love a lot that play guitar real well. And they all seem to be fans of getting Squires and then modding the shit out of them. Something about the way they're built and a bunch of other nerdy stuff that I can't recall right now. And in the end, then the types of wood and the tones and this, that, and the other, they felt was a much cheaper and way more solid way than most Fenders, even though technically, right, they're all sort of the same situation, but they're not. They're not, depending on where they were made, how they were made, when they were made. Get a Squire, do it. It's like for my brother who's got a Land Rover and has made it. I mean, it looks like it's still a Land Rover, but it's not the delicate shell that it once was. It's a beast now, right? It's like a Meccano kit. It's ready for you to strip back and get going. It's my understanding. I'd love to speak to her about her choice of Squire one day. Again, no Williams relation. Skip it in a minute and a bit here. Again, I don't want to stop it, but it's just insane. It's so good. Top comment is barely anyone covers Deftones this well. It's beautiful. Second top comment, Deftones would be proud for this cover. Third comment, one of the few well done Deftones covers. Thanks for this. The fifth one, this is just lovely. That's the sort of thing an English person would say. This is just lovely. Do you know what? I think that's lovely. Okay. Let's dive in then to the actual Song of the Week choice, and then I got to get my uniform on, get on the bike and get out of here in about 15 minutes. Hopefully I can upload this and get it posted before 1:30 before I go. And so again, with Evaporate. With Evaporate, AA said, traditionally, his second album is The Worry, where there's the weight of expectation, but I must create music that I like for myself. More confidence and conviction. As the moon rest is both heavier and softer, there's more texture and weight with a string ensemble. It's Forever Blue times 10. And just to double check here, As the Moon Rests, I believe, was out. Is it August or October? 7th of October. There we go. Via Bella Union.
Holding on, feeling everything I am come undone. I wish I could just evaporate, take my thoughts and slowly separate. It all starts and ends with you.
I muted myself again. This is a world-class mix. To me, this is more of a square mix. And to elaborate on that, you've got your two guitars either side of you, left and right, right, chugging away, bum, 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 bum. Then you've got the sort of visceral, sort of airy, sort of atmospheric, sort of, it's just going over the top here, like it's sort of like a hat. It's mainly center, but it is flirting with all sides. It's all good to go over there. You've got that bass right in the middle. You've got that kick just to the right of the bass. You've got the backing vocals mainly on the left-hand side. I mean, it's urging you in to the box to then look around. I remember doing when I worked after, I don't need to share that story. That would take 3 hours. But when I was helping as a media teaching assistant at the school that I went to many years ago, and there was a music video being shot. And the idea was, I think it was I forget the metal band now, but it was like everyone's submerged underwater. And it was a really adventurous video because it was very early days, especially with the equipment we had in the school, of trying to create this sort of 3D world where this person would be looking in a box and it'd be surrounded by different mermaids or different sort of weird angelic figures in these different pools of water. But then how do you build that whole world around? And this song reminds me of that box and how you could sort of be in it, but you don't feel threatened ever. You feel very secure. You feel it's very trusting in the space that A.A. Williams produces. And it's not that the lyrical content is, I'm going to give you a big old hug. It's the performance of it. It's the way that the story is relayed to you that is like, okay, right, okay. Not everything needs to be, I don't want to talk about it. I don't think you even realize half the time the depths of the journey that she's going into, because sonically it's so warm and so well produced. And because there's no barbs that make you discomfort, that cause discomfort or make you agitated, it becomes a very safe area. Again, that box. So you could just be in there, okay, well, there's that guitar, there's that other strange guitar, oh, there's all the backing, there's sort of like the choir backing vocalists over here. Just, if you've got headphones, put them on. If you've not got headphones, why? The headphones would help. But anyway.
Every day I try just to survive.
And the drummer does feel like he's at the end of the room, but not distant and far away. But that right over here, the crash right back left, it's like when I get migraines in the back behind the eye, right back there somewhere. And again, playing within that space, I just can't get enough of it. I wonder if it's been the same production team the whole way through. Part of my lack of research and diligence, if it is, but it's outstanding. Now you're surrounded by the vocals. Here, bit there, bit there. It's just, it's insane. It's insanely good. And that is the Song of the Week choice this week. Again, I mean...
Oh, bro, it's just like...
Song of the Week! High-end intro. Bring on that new record. I just can't get enough. I cannot get enough. All right, let's get this video on the old... Let's get this video on the old Vimeo for patrons. If you've made it this far and you're watching and you're like, this isn't Vimeo or Patreon, this is YouTube, mate. Well, that's because a month after it has been enjoyed by those that support whatwasthatradio.com through Patreon. It's a 24/7 radio station. It's a podcast, Arts Academy, and Foundation. I split all my earnings 50-50. They get first dibs. And then we upload it, and then we wait for the labels to say, it's okay. He's not going to make money, but he seems like a nerd that's going to talk about it. And then once it gets allowed to be viewed, it's on the old YouTube. Bada boom, bada bing. Bada boom, bada bing. Bada boom, bada bing. Is that the third time or the fourth time in this last 40 minutes? 47 to be exact. Whatever you're doing with the rest of your day, and as always, please look after yourself. And I hope there's some fun and smiles involved in the rest of it too, because we've got to cherish that positive. I really appreciate your time. Should you have watched this all the way to the end, Antonio Conte. Send that at me and then I'll know. Thank you. Lots of love. Cheerio.